Good morning, students. Welcome to the second video for the week. We were discussing Long Walk to Freedom. It's an autobiography by Nelson Mandela, where he has mentioned about his life. Today, I wish to conclude the chapter on by discussing his opinion about freedom. Now, freedom, as it is, South Africa was not captivated by any foreign country. It was the people who had migrated to South Africa had made certain rules which were biased against the black people or the native people, and hence there was discrimination. Nelson Mandela was fight for freedom from this discrimination. He wanted equal rights for every living being, or particularly every human being. Now, for that, he mentioned every person is born with twin obligations. The two obligations that he talks about are the obligation towards his family, his parents, the wife and children, that is obliged to serve them, look after them. And second obligation is towards the society and the community. A person has these two responsibilities. Obligation here stands for responsibilities. Responsibility for his family and the responsibility for the society. And in a normal democratic society, according to Mandela, or any normal civilized society, if we may say, everyone was allowed to have this freedom, that they could fulfill these two obligations. But he realized any person of Mandela's birth or Mandela's skin color was not allowed to fulfill these obligations. Now, he was never born with the hunger to be free. He was not a born rebel. He was a normal man who wanted to lead a normal and peaceful life. And in South Africa, the system was that any black person, if he tried to get equal rights or even spoke about it, he was punished and the person was isolated. Right? So, Mandela later explains and justifies why he was not born with the hunger to be free, because he always considered himself to be free. As a child, what was freedom? What did freedom mean to him? Freedom was the freedom to play, freedom to run around the house, freedom to swim in the lake nearby, river nearby, freedom to eat corn, freedom to ride bullocks. Right? These were the freedom, and he got them. So he thought he was free. He had no problem. As long he abided by the rules of his tribe and the instructions of his parents, he was free to do anything you like. No laws of man or God could disturb him. Now, when he grew up, he realized that the freedom he thought was his, that was an illusion. He was not free. Because as a student, he wanted transitory freedoms, short-term freedoms. And what were these short-term freedoms? These short-term freedoms included his freedom to stay out with some friend or read whatever he wanted to read. And he was given this freedom, he considered himself free. But later, as a young man, when he grew up in Johannesburg, he tried his best to get the least honorable freedom of achieving his potential, doing what he was capable of, marrying a person of his choice, and earning his keep. And these things were not achievable in South Africa because laws didn't permit a black man to live a life he wanted to or his way. Now, initially, he felt that he was the one who was suffering, but later he realized everybody who looked like him was suffering similarly. That's when he realized this could not be tolerated. So he joined African National Congress. Now, African National Congress was a political party run by the black, and it was a banned party. Joining that made him a criminal. Criminal is one who doesn't follow the law. Law didn't allow blacks to participate in politics. And since Mandela participated, he became a criminal in the eyes of the law immediately. What happened after that? He said he was not more self-sacrificing than anyone else or more righteous than anybody else. But dreaming to live a life of dignity was most important for him. And for that, his life completely got transformed. The moment he was branded a criminal, his life changed. First, he was a timid young man, right? And he became a bold one who could speak for himself, speak for his rights. Second, he was an attorney, a man of law, a law-abiding person, and he became a criminal. His life transformed that way. It was a big transformation that took place. The third one, he was a family-loving man, right? He loved his wife, he loved his children, he loved his home, but he was forced to run away from the house. Had he stayed in the house, he would have been arrested. So he started, and when you are on the run, you live a life of a monk, right? So his life changed completely. He said he has often claimed that he is not more virtuous. He doesn't have more qualities, better qualities than other people. But he realized even if he could not enjoy even the simplest freedom that every human being is supposed to have in a civilized society, he realized that he cannot live like that. And he also had the realization that just freeing himself would not be enough. He had to free the entire community for that freedom, because there was an invisible chain wrapped around the entire society he belonged to. But this realization, this desire for freedom, brought about a thought in him, which was a very big thought and which makes Nelson Mandela different from other people. You see, general tendency is when you are marginalized, when you are suppressed, the moment you get the strength or power to stand up and get back, what do? We punish the oppressors. Mandela's mindset was totally different from us. He had no concept of punishing the oppressors. He even believed the oppressor, like oppressed, is also not free. He is also a captive. Now, this was a very bright point of view that made Mandela very different, and that changed the entire thought process of South Africa. He said the oppressed is obviously a captive of the oppressor, but the oppressor himself is captive of hatred, and he has to be freed from that hatred. Once he is free, he will stop the oppression, and when the oppression is stopped, the entire society becomes free and live in one brotherhood. That was the thing. So he wanted to clear the mind of the oppressor of all the prejudices he had for a particular race or a skin color. That was his theory. He plainly pointed out that taking away anybody else's freedom doesn't make you any more free. You yourself become captive, right? And both the oppressed and the oppressor are robbed of their humanity. Now, this brought about a big change. The world came together. Nelson Mandela had to be freed after 36 years of imprisonment, and later the elections followed, and he won it, and he became the first democratically elected president of a non-racial government. Right? So this will be all for this week, and we will come up with. I will come up with another video, which is related to the poem associated with this chapter, "A Tiger in a Cage." So till we meet again, it's goodbye. All of you take proper care of yourself and be well.